Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and guess who's joining me from the good old USA?
One second.
Introduce yourself when you stop fidgeting.
Yeah, I know. I can't figure out where the camera is going to be best. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, this is going well, ladies and gentlemen.
That's all right, though. I am Mike Barkhoff. Sorry, the lighting's not the best either right now. I can try turning this light on.
You like Phantom of the Opera at the moment.
But yeah, I'm Mike Barkhoff. I'll get good lighting right here. Make it dramatic. Okay.
Oh, there you go. You've got full visibility.
I don't know why I didn't turn that on to begin with.
You just like to be awkward, don't you?
Yep.
And you
That's
like
what I'm good at. That is what I'm good at.
You're all lit up now.
Yep.
Your beautiful face. Well done. So, introduce yourself.
Okay. Mike Barkhoff is the name. I make films, web series, short films, and they all go on Live Free, which is the YouTube channel that I make. Right now, we're working on a couple different things. Films, web series, whatnot, everything that I just mentioned.
We just mentioned we have to go potato.
Yep. Yeah. I'm not a good public speaker, but yeah. I seen the interview you did with Harry Scott for Men in the House, and you said something about a bridge in the previous take that we attempted. What were you saying about that now?
Well, basically, I did two interviews. One in Liverpool city centre with the buildings in the background. That was the first interview with Harry, and the second one was near a bridge, near a canal. Okay. And I don't know which one was the one I mentioned, Men of the House, but I think he'd just finished it at the time.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one it was, because I know all I know is it was outside. I can't remember what else. But
I'm always outside.
Yep. Yeah, so I seen that, and then I figured my cat's hitting my phone, so I have to keep moving.
Take control of your pussy, sir.
But I figured I'd hit you up after that, so I did. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
No, it's good to have a different variety of people on the channel, because I love talking to different people from different walks of life, and you're exceptional with what you've seen. What I've seen of your YouTube and Live Free, and the creativity in each of your videos. I mean, you go way back, don't you?
Yeah. 13 was when I did the first one.
What made you become? I say that's a cliche sort of question, but why the hell did you start doing all that at 13?
That is kind of a loaded question. Well, see, I was only child, so when I just started, I'm trying to think of how to best word this. I didn't really like toys. I liked movies, so I just watched movies, and then that just kind of made me want to make movies, And it's just.
So where was the spark then? So I'm assuming it started before 13. It was round about 5, 6, 7 years old, and you've seen a movie that blew you away. What was that movie?
Man, I was a big Back to the Future fan.
Oh, brilliant! Brilliant.
Yep, great films. Just anything. I'd see. Well, like a good example is I remember seeing Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire in theaters.
Oh,
and yep, the one with the dancing, and leaving and being like, oh, that was such a good movie, because at the time I was young, so I was like, that's one of the best movie I've ever seen.
Groundbreaking.
Now it's like, there's nostalgia, but it's definitely got its flaws. But I remember being like, oh, I want to make something just like that, to the point where I had all the plot points stolen from that movie. I would have gotten copyright if I could have done it.
What did you think? What do you reckon of the latest Spider-Man films? Are they living up to your vision of Spider-Man? Are you still into superhero genre?
It kind of depends. I feel like I'm gonna sound like Martin Scorsese here, but
the theme park ride stuff.
Yep. I feel like there's a bit too much, for my liking. I have a hard time keeping up with them, for sure. I like the last Marvel movie I've seen up to, where I've seen all of them before that, was probably the second Captain America.
Really?
Yeah, a long time ago. I mean, I've seen the third Avengers, not the fourth, but the first of the two part. I know how the fourth one goes, though. That's my cat's tail, man.
Sorry, your cat's just trying to steal the limelight from you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure tail is never ending.
Hiya.
She is again.
If you wanted an interview, request an interview.
Yeah. She wanted it too.
Oh, what a beautiful cat! It reminds us of the name. I don't think it's been on. I don't think we've mentioned it on air. What's the
Oh
name
yeah,
of the cat?
yeah. Her name is Stella. She's been in a lot of stuff too. She's in almost everything I make because she does this where she just walks in front
As soon
of
as
the
you
camera.
turn the camera on.
Yep.
Stop being
She's
a
a fan of the
diva.
camera.
But obviously, I've seen that you're into so many variations of craft.
Yeah.
But I'd say the main one for you is writing and producing. Really, are you an actor?
Yeah, I don't like to do that, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I did that just because you don't have to pay someone else to do it.
Yeah.
When I was 13 and I didn't. Well, I was actually 14 and I didn't have the ability to find a friend for a role, so I ended up having to do it.
Oh.
It is easier though, as a writer, to act because you know exactly what you're going for, rather than being it. Like I can only imagine being an actor, getting a script, and being like, this part's kind of confusing. I don't really know what the script writer was going
But
for.
that's part of the fun. I mean, I've just been teaching this to Harry because I wrote him a script and he's going to perform that because I want to.
Oh, really? That's cool.
I wanted because with Harry, he's always going for comical or slapstick or accents and stuff, and I want to see him perform something really dark, something that people wouldn't expect, turn it on its head. And I said to him, "Look, you've got a great idea because I know exactly what to write for you, and I know how to get those emotions out. But when you get a script and it's fresh and it's brand new, and you're having to interpret that and break it down, and blah, 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 it's scary because you might only have a couple of days to do that before an audition.
Yeah.
But then it's exhilarating because you're presenting that to someone else who you'll get a part, and I love it.
See, I think that's why I don't really like it as much because for me, it's always at least for what I've done, it's more about the outside elements, building the film up from the outside, not really, you know what I mean? I like having control over how it's crafted rather than having to interpret,
because that's I was going to say control freak sort of thing. But you like to have all your fingers in all the pies.
Yeah.
You like to go, right, where's this going?
See, I've been trying to do better at that because I know I was hogging the camera for a long time. But especially if it's like one of my own feature films, I like to especially have a lot of control over it. Every camera angle has a meaning to it, even if like you got the camera right here and you're cutting out like this person's bottom of their face, to me it's like, oh, that's because they just came up in the world. It's like, it's cliche, but it's kind of like, it's that hidden stuff that I feel like makes films kind of last the test of time,
because people will always talk about why someone did something, why did they do that instead of this, and as you say, interpretation of camera angles is key because the closer you get to someone's face, the more emphasis you're putting on the words. And to me, that's very important. Everything's important. I mean, acting's only part of it, and they get all the credit. But the writer, director, producer, sound.
Oh man, they don't get nearly enough credit either. They don't, and it's crazy. I know a good example is Taxi Driver. That movie. I don't know if you've seen it. That's one of my favorites.
The thing with me is my memory is so shocking. I lived a very sheltered life for a long time, and I only watched key things. And some things I've lost in the time, but he did mention, by the way, knock in the last take, and I want to bring that up again because tell the audience about it. That was the last project, was it? You just did,
we're gonna be releasing that in November. That's a horror film. I wrote the script. The basic premise, which you had to fight me to give off in the last take, is there's this kind of deranged guy who hears knocking in his house, and then he goes in the basement and he finds out that he abducted someone and he doesn't remember doing it, like deranged with memory loss, basically. Harry will be in that also. Yep. I think he's in 2 scenes, maybe 3. He's actually going to be in a lot of stuff that we have coming up. He's been really cool ever since I met him on Men in the House, and because he told me he didn't want to do comedy, so I tried giving him like the drama scripts I had just so I could kind of lend him that experience. And
that's good. Not many people do that because I know you just said you like control of your product and you only want the best for your product. So with Harry, because you're giving him the chance to flourish and giving him the chance to sort of get his get his way with it, and it's rare that to have
Yeah.
someone as caring as that. So it's nice to hear that.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I think Harry's a really genuine dude, so I like
He
him.
is.
Yeah, he seems super funny too.
Oh
Yeah,
God Almighty, he's funny. Yeah.
I'm working on a comedy web series too called Bent Edges.
Oh, I've heard of
Which
that. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yep, Harry's gonna be in that, and he did super funny. That was the one time that I went to him and I was like, I know you said you don't want to do comedy anymore, but this part is like, I think super funny. I think you'd fit it well, and he did fit it great. So
I always say to him, if don't write off anything, open all the doors, and do it as long as you're comfortable and you're happy.
Yeah.
And I said to him, even if the serious stuff, the gritty stuff, like we like to call it, doesn't pan out, this is your chance to sort of try it out and have fun. This should be fun, And
Yeah.
you seem to be having a lot of fun with everything you do.
Yeah.
So what I looked at your bio and it looked like everything is on there, like writer, director, producer.
Yeah.
The only thing that wasn't there was porn star. I was very disappointed. But having said that, what is it that you like to do the most? There must be something that sort of you go, I could never give that up if you had to give everything up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the writing and the editing. Those would be the two. Yep. The editing is super fun to me, but it does get old. Right now, I'm kind of having editor's block. I'm having to work through it. Yeah. Yep. I don't know if it's, well, I think it's partially because of the toe, not doing it for a couple weeks. And now I'm just like, I feel so behind. But
why is it all stacking up now? All the stuff that you had planned? Because I know for a fact that when I had to take 3 months off to move to this place, to this house, and everything was sort of there, and people were still getting in touch, but I couldn't do anything. Physically couldn't do anything because I had nothing. And now it's all going. Everything's going mental.
And we're
trying to keep up. So it's the same for you, isn't it? How long were you out of the game for?
Only about 2.5 weeks, probably. But it did set off quite a bit. It set back a lot of things. Yeah.
Every time you see a filing cabinet now, you're going to be like, ooh.
Yeah. Yep. And then that one got burnt.
Well, got the revenge. Made of metal? Was it? Was it made of metal?
No, this one was wood.
Oh.
Yep,
oh God.
Yep. Which made it infected too, so it hurt quite a bit.
Oh God. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better anyway. And just again, thanks for sticking with me because I've not been as bloody reliable as I'd like to be.
Yeah.
So okay, so you've mentioned Knock and you've mentioned your other stuff. So tell me about, because I know that you've done other YouTube stuff since you were 13. So unboxing stuff, which again I just brought up in the last take, trying to figure out what I remember. So did you want to be a bog standard YouTuber, like sort of like me, doing boring stuff half the time, or were you just looking for something to say in the industry? Were you like Harry in a sense, where you were like, I want to be an actor, but I like YouTube? So what's the main focus for you?
That's a deep question.
I know it was a bit deep for me.
Yeah. I don't really know. I just feel like it's a okay. Well, here's a good example, I suppose. So I'm a big fan of rap music, right?
Eminem. I saw Eminem. Eminem was your go-to, wasn't it?
Yeah, I love Eminem. Yeah, Chance the Rapper is good too. He releases his mixtapes for free and his album for free, and that's kind of what I was thinking. Like when it came time to my first film, was instead of trying to sell this, maybe I should release it for free, because then it would kind of have more of a mark. In the future, people would be like, "Oh, that was for free." So my first 3 films have all been for free. The 4th one is I'm working slowly on it, and that one will be the first one that I mean, it'll still be free, but we're also going to be putting it on places where people can rent it, and I don't know if you know what Moment House is, but we're going to be trying to put that on there too. It's like a virtual theater basically. You can rent tickets and watch. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You should look into that for like your like interviews and stuff. Like if you have a huge one coming up, you should really look into that, because that'd be cool. You don't even have to sell the tickets. You can just give them off for free to make it like a fan event type thing.
When we finish this, tell me all about that, because for me, I'm not really looking for money per se, because I do enjoy doing this just off the bat, really. But it'd be nice to sort of spin the wheels a little bit and get some product out of it, because I know people are paying me now for promotional on my YouTube now.
Oh, really? That's cool.
To promote the books and to promote stuff. And I'm not at monetization yet, you see, so on YouTube. So, but again, I'm not doing it for money. I'm doing it because I genuinely like the craft.
Yep.
It's like with acting, I suppose with you too probably, that you don't get into this profession because you want to be famous or money and that. So again, you're talking about your love for Back to the Future and film and that.
Yep.
So I'm assuming that with your creativity, it all comes from somewhere. I mean, when you're writing, is it it's like sort like you say you see a cat somewhere in the corner and something sparks off you. It comes from nowhere, this idea. And do you write it? How do you write? Because a lot of people just don't know how to write. I think that's the crux of my question.
Yeah, that's a good question too. So a lot of what I write is actually based off of nightmares and dreams. I wake up and I'll write it down real quick. That's where I find the most what the hell type of content. And
well, in your horror fan nature, that must work dividends for you.
Yeah, and see, I like things that have that weird element to it. Like The Sopranos had the fever dream episodes. I don't know if you've ever seen that show.
Yeah.
And even Breaking Bad has dark humor. So
I love Breaking Bad too.
Yeah, I love Breaking Bad. I think that's my favorite show right there. I
was saying this to Harry, Bryan Cranston. If you want to look up an actor, Bryan Cranston.
He's so good. Yeah, he's like the best. To be able to do Malcolm in the Middle and then do that, that's crazy. I read
his autobiography not long ago, and it's the struggle he went through to become an actor. It's inspiring. If you're struggling in any profession, read his autobiography. It's amazing.
I read the first page. I haven't dedicated enough time to get through it yet, but I'm a huge Bryan Cranston Breaking Bad fan, so I obviously have the book and I've been meaning to read it. I just another good one is Jim Carrey's autobiography.
I have not read it yet. I didn't know he had one.
Yeah, it just came out in 2020, and it's kind of like an autobiography and at the same time not an autobiography. It's really good though.
Like a memoir.
He's kind of like parodying his life, you know.
Oh, I have a lot of respect for Jim because he's admitted his own faults as well, hasn't he? And he's because he was a caricature of himself. And I said this to Harry as well: don't be a caricature of yourself because it can be comfort zone, can't it?
Yep. Yeah, I think when he did Ace Ventura, that's literally what he said was, I'm trying to make a movie where I'm the main character, and so that's what he was doing. And I mean, I love Ace Ventura, don't get me wrong, but you can only do that for so much before, you're doing the same role over and over and over and over again.
Exactly what he was doing in the end, wasn't it?
Yep. But Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is a great film that Jim Carrey's in. Yeah, that's one of my favorite films right there.
I've just wrote a script, not an active script. It's because I'm doing reviews on movies and TV shows, and the script I'm writing is for Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams. Remember that movie? I love that film. It's slow, but it's worth every page. It's lovely. So I'm writing a script, just reviewing that at the moment. It's one of those films that you ponder over, or like you said before, that people think about it, and people remember it because of that. Is what's the movie for you that stands out the most? That's most thought provoking.
If you mean in terms of like what my favorite movie is,
well, yeah. I mean, what makes you think? Because you're a big thinker, aren't you? So what makes you? What made an impact with you? Not Back to the Future, but something that's going. Oh, I didn't think of it like that.
Well, see, Breaking Bad really made me be like, oh, I do like films. I want to get into films again. Because before that, I kind of stopped thinking about it. But when I saw One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest for the first time, that's my favorite film. That's a great film. Yep. And that one, every time I watch it, I take something different away from it. So,
and that's perfect, isn't it? Like, if you can do that, then the writing must be so good.
Yeah,
it's kind of every layer.
It's kind of like The Great Gatsby, the book, not the movie, but the book is so thorough and crazy that I mean, man, I could read that book over and over again, and I could probably take 50 different things away from it each time. It's a crazy book.
So you're a big reader then? So it's not
no. I don't. I mean, I wish I could read more. I have a hard time being concentrated while I'm reading. I hope that it kind of.
You mean switching off? You have a hard time sort of going right. Everything's off. No devices. No editing.
Yep.
This is my time with my book.
When I'm reading a book, I'm thinking so much that I have a hard time concentrating. It's a lot easier for me to see it visually, but there's numerous books that I want to read. Like I haven't finished the Jim Carrey one yet. I'm about halfway through it. The Bryan Cranston one, I need to get past that first page.
There's a page where he's about to have sex in a tunnel, That's really, it's really funny that bit.
In Bryan Cranston's?
Yeah, because he
Really?
just got married. He just got married, and there's this tunnel in France that people sort of said there's a tunnel where you go through while you're parked on. You're basically on a train, but your car's inside the train going through a tunnel. And there's a bit where it goes dark for like 20, 30 minutes, and that's where it's called the love tunnel. And people all have sex in this tunnel. And they thought, well, we might as well, but they didn't get the right tunnel, so they got got out of the tunnel too quickly, and people were watching them.
Oh, yep, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, but yeah, get to that page with me. Spoilers.
He's got a ton of good stories too for an actor that's not a comedian. Bryan Cranston does. Like the amount of stories he has that are hilarious. He should really be a comedian. I don't know if you watch Conan O'Brien, but he's on there quit a bit, and he has a lot of good stories.
I've seen him on Graham Norton, because that's probably our equivalent of that. And he's a consummate. He's one of those people that just knows how to engage an audience. Because he's done a lot of theatre, and that's where a lot of the showmanship comes from. If you've done theatre, you know how to engage them and get to feel the energy from the audience. Have you done? I know you're not an actor, but did you do theatre yourself? Was there any part of that spoke to you?
See, at that point, I didn't want to do acting, so I did theater in high school, but it was I did lighting.
So you had a gun to your head.
Yep. And I did the lighting, and I also did. I would hit play on the songs, and then cut them out, when I needed to. But
you know what? It sounded like even then you were already on the path to being right. I'm the creator of all things when it comes to talent.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why that is either. Really, I just one thing that I guess kind of when I was younger, I would always say, well, this movie would be better if they did this. So I don't know if maybe that's part of where it came from too.
Do you notice movie mistakes a lot?
Yeah, I guess you could say I do. We just rewatched, my girlfriend and I. Well, she hadn't seen it, but I showed her The Truman Show about a year ago.
I love that movie as well. Yeah.
And there's a part where he's stocking a vending machine, and I was like,
you're talking about the bit where the camera's inside the vending machine, and he's like talking to Truman, putting things in, and he's not quite finishing. He's sort of taking them out and putting them back in.
And every time the camera cut back, there's stuff that's not in the same place that it was before, and I was like, like that's way off.
You know what? I just take it as the fact that it's a show, so basically they're pretending to, then they're pulling it back out again.
That's what she said too, and I was like, I suppose that's true. But
I love it. I love the ending of that where he's smashing the wall. And it's symbolic, isn't it? And it's so thought provoking.
Yes, the very one of the very first scenes too, where the stage light just falls from up above him. That's a really good movie all around. Yeah, Jim Carrey really does good with drama roles. I wish he did a bit more of that in his career.
I think he's just stuck in because again he's had this epiphany where he struggled over time about his own persona and how he's presenting himself, and now he's just took a massive drawback from it and doesn't really want to get back into this toxic, because it is a kind of toxic industry, isn't it?
It is.
And it's hard for people like me and you, I say the genuine ones, to sort of break through unless we conform, I suppose.
Yeah, and just become absolutely rude, basically. I
don't know about rude, but there's things like, let's say you had a really great script and you presented it to a producer, and they're like, right, we liked it overall, but we'd like you to add a few amendments to your script, and then you start ripping it apart, diluting it, and it becomes generic instead of a vision.
And then you don't want your name on it at that point. And
then you walk away.
I wouldn't want my name on that. That's something that I'm trying to do too. I don't know if Harry even really knows about this, but I'm trying to make this website where up and coming filmmakers and musicians, and even game coders and whatnot, can post on there, and then people that are professionally in the field can go on there, and if they see something they like, they can reach out, and it just gets rid of that middleman. It tries to make it a little bit more personal, professional to up and comer, and hopefully makes it easier for people to get into the career, because it is a pain in the ass to get into the career.
Pain in the ass. Yeah. I mean, as from an acting standpoint, it's the only things you can get really a service called Star Now or Mandy, which then lead on to independent films where you get cast in things. It's a bit like your Backstage, I think, if you know Backstage. And then if you get enough credits and enough mainstream attention, then you get credits to go onto Spotlight, which is this big acting platform, and then that's just the start of it. You need to get onto more and more, and it's a big headache. Whereas
Yeah.
I'd say your vision, would it be safe to say yours would be like a forum or like a website that you can host for free, or is it something that you'd have to buy all the servers for? And
It would be something for free. I have a rough template made on just that site, Fandom or Wikia. I have it made there, but I would really like to delve into it more, an actual website and whatnot, make it more professional and promote it. But right now it's just in its early stages. But I just made that.
That's good. That harks back to what we were saying about Harry, because again, you're thinking of other people and giving them something that you don't have to do that. I mean, where's this drive coming from to sort of just reach out and bring people in who need to step up?
That's a good question too. I don't really know. I don't know. I feel like there's not many genuine nice people on Earth.
I think there is, but I just think that people are held down. It's like what we were saying about the film industry before. It's certain people get elevated to the top, and the majority of talent doesn't get through, especially in the UK now, because it's all middle to upper class actors and producers and stuff that are university educated and they've got all the money. But if you're working class, like I am or Harry sort of is, then you're not going to get anywhere because you need to keep spending.
Yep.
So it's a hard life, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
But it's not holding you back though.
No. I just try to be optimistic about it,
Yeah. But you're a glass half full kind of person then.
Yeah, more so than not. It depends on what it is. If it's like pertaining to social media, I'll be a bit more critical of that. But that's just me trying to be an old person more than anything. I haven't adapted to that well.
What do you mean?
No, to social media, I haven't adapted to it well. The only reason I have it is because I have a business. If I didn't have a business, I wouldn't be on it.
Yeah.
You really need to be on it in order to be successful as an artist. But I feel like it blocks so much artistic vision.
Well, you have to keep pulling the chain of social media to get anywhere, and it's so frustrating because I don't want to be on Facebook or Twitter or I mean YouTube's all right, but it's again you have to keep to do anything. It's like I have to share on Twitter twice a day now, and that's not even enough. I have to keep doing it, and it's I'd just rather not, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I mean. It feels what would be a good word here? It feels very unrealistic, to post and have to do that.
Yeah, because you've got a lot of fakes around too, which sort of dilutes the brand. Oh, here we go. Who's that?
Oh, yeah, my dad just got home.
Oh, say hello.
Hello.
Is he in the acting industry or the creative industry too?
No, not at all.
What does he do?
No, that's kind of a good question.
That's what I do.
Yeah, I don't really know that one.
What?
No.
Well, we'll move swiftly on then. So tell me about Men of the House and where the idea came from, because it's quite unique the way you try. I mean, you describe it yourself, and then we'll expand on it.
Okay. What would it be? Two people, and they're a friend of a brother and a daughter who are in a house, and the parents leave, and they have to take care of the house. That would be the best way to explain it.
What got you involved in that then? Where did that come from? Because that's an acting gig, isn't it?
That would be a mutual friend between me and Drake named Ron Gomes, who's a scriptwriter. He's really good.
And he wrote the script for Men of the House?
No, he wrote something I did last year called Limbo.
What was that about? If you can talk about it.
Let me try to think. See, I'm working on another couple of his right now, so Limbo's like in the past. Limbo.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. Limbo is about an alcoholic who is mourning the death of his wife, but he thinks she's still there. Basically, in a nutshell.
Oh, is she still there though? Is she a ghost? Or is
Yeah,
it just...
he thinks she's still there, but she's not.
Oh, so it's in his head.
Yes, yep. Ron is really good at scripts.
I love
seriously.
that. That's great.
Yeah. It's always good to have someone like that. I reached out to him because I stopped having ideas for scripts. So it's nice to have that.
So when you say stopped having ideas, it's just for that moment. You're like, right, my head's too full. I'm not reaching out as much, so I'm gonna have to just focus on editing for a bit. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, for the most part, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm always writing way ahead of time too. Like, I have films done that I haven't done yet. Started filming, So
well, that's just generally how it works. Because as a writer, you have all the inspiration.
Yeah. And the better you get it done while you're in that mode to write that one is the better. The sooner you get it done, the better.
What time of day is that usually happening? Because I know some people, it happens in like little bits, bite-sized chunks, and some people like wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh. And what's your process in that?
It depends on what the nightmares are. If they're good, I'll write them in the middle of the night. But yeah, otherwise it's like afternoon. But sometimes it'll be 1 a.m. So.
Bloody hell! I mean, you should see a doctor. These nightmares.
Yeah, for real. See,
I don't even remember.
I haven't even done like the ones that I'm really excited for yet. So.
Oh, is this another exclusive? Stephen, exclusive.
I haven't even started filming it yet, but yeah, that'll be really good. I'm excited for that one. I just got to get the budget for that one figured out.
Oh, budget. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a bit
that'll
more...
probably be in 2024, if I had to guess.
Oh, a bit long to wait then, isn't it? I mean, So what equipment have you got then? Have you got all? Are you still building up everything you need for your portfolio of equipment?
Yeah. Yep. For sure. I definitely need to improve lights, audio.
Don't get me started again.
Yeah. Well, see, this isn't what I use to film, but this is just for this interview. But yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. That. But still, I need a better microphone for the camera for sure. Yeah, I just that, and then also I want to make sure the script's as good as it can be.
Yeah, so
that would be an anthological horror though, like we were saying earlier, how you got your slasher, psychological, paranormal. It's going to be all the subgenres, but then there's one film in it that's each subgenre.
Well, it's funny because I just interviewed a novelist. There he is, Joseph Roy Wright. And he writes horror.
Oh, I think I seen that. I don't know. You must have shared it on Twitter. I think I did see you share that then, because that cover looks very familiar.
Yeah, he's again a local talent, and he's literally he said the same thing, that he sometimes his ideas aren't enough to flesh out in terms of a big novel, but then you can then make them an anthology series where they're all separate and clip them together, and then he wanted to get his novels properly published. And one of the people said, well, we could split it into two and have it two, but then he couldn't get that agreement with them, because once you split it in two, it becomes a problem.
So did he end up having to do a whole novel of his ideas, or did he do the anthology?
Well, he hasn't done the anthology yet. That's the next step. He's gonna, because and like you said with his processes, sometimes he writes all these ideas all in one go, and he will go, which one is he going to expand on and become a novel? And some things he's gone, right, I'm going to put them as part of the anthology and keep going along those lines. But most of his 3 books he's done are all about psychological thrillers. And isn't that strange? Because I seem to be drawn to you guys.
Yeah. See, and anthologies are cool too to do, because then you don't have to do really a beginning or an outro for a story.
No. It's just straight into the universe, isn't it?
Right. It's only what's extremely important to the movie or the book or whatever. So anthologies are really cool. That's what's good about Twilight Zone too.
Twilight Zone and Black Mirror as another example, because Black Mirror is such a... I mean, with the first 3 series maybe, and the 4th, I'd push.
I've only seen a couple. I don't think I've made it all the way through yet.
If you're going to watch the first 4 series, and after that it goes a bit weird. When it was on Channel 4, it was the best. It was like gritty British drama, which was wacky as well at times. But then it went on to Netflix for the rest of it, and Netflix started going sensational. with everything,
Yeah. It
just
became
doing
more
things.
mainstream.
Yeah, what's her name now? That one who was a singer. Was a singer in it most recently. What's her fucking name?
You want me to look it up quick?
You look it up if I don't get it in my head now. Right, it's in my head. She sang Wrecking Ball.
Is she in Black Mirror, right?
She was in Black Mirror at one point. Yeah,
Okay,
she played herself basically. What's her fucking name?
Is it Ashley Ortez?
No.
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus, there you go.
That was the name of the character in the
yeah,
show.
yeah, but she basically played herself basically. She was like, "Oh, I don't like to be a singer. I'm a singer. I don't like to do this. I'm a singer." Oh, fuck off.
See, I don't know if I've seen that one.
But it's one of the latest ones, and that series was very hit and miss with its concepts.
Was that one good?
Not really. Her consciousness was implanted in a doll or something when she died. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah,
really
see, that's why I haven't really watched that show too much, because I'm a big Twilight Zone fan, so I don't know. I like the Twilight Zone a lot.
It was better when it was grounded, when it was set, because again, the series was based in the UK for the first three series, maybe 4, but then Netflix took it over, started making it more, you know what Netflix is like. It's all colourful.
Yeah.
It's all,
yep.
That's what's wrong with the film industry at the moment. Everything's colourful.
That is 110% true. I think Netflix is definitely hurting it quite a bit.
Yeah, but I understand why, because people are consuming it as well.
Yeah, so. That's what people are into, is that stuff. But yeah, I've really only seen off of Netflix that I've really liked The Irishman and then El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie.
I haven't seen that yet.
Really?
I haven't seen it. I don't know why I've not seen it.
A lot of people will shit talk it, but it's actually, I think, really good. The camera work's crazy. Have you seen Better Call Saul?
Yes, well, not the new series. Since I moved out of my old house, I've lost. You know what? Because I don't turn the TV on. I don't watch TV. I don't do anything. But then I'm being reminded that things are on, things I need to watch.
Yep.
I'm like, why haven't I watched it yet?
yeah, that's a great show too. They do so good with those. Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Yeah, those are definitely things that
these are all shows. These are all shows with just the best cinematography. The best, because you're looking they're establishing shots in everything that they do in these shows, and like they'll watch like a lizard walking across the sand, or they'll zoom up on like a flittering leaf, and you're doing that for minutes just to establish where they are.
Yep. Yeah, and then I really like the shots where they'll have a camera on the side of the highway and they'll show all the cars going by and the sun's going down. It's not like they filmed it and then sped it up. It's more like a photo going by. They put a lot of work in that show. It's great.
Who's your favorite character then? Go on. It's a hard one for Breaking Bad, but I'm going to throw it at you anyway.
It really is. I think probably Badger, Jesse's friend.
I understand why you said that.
Yeah, he's funny. Yeah, I don't know. Otherwise Jesse. I think Jesse's pretty funny too.
Jesse's character arc is so beautiful.
It is.
Where he started out to where he ended. It's such a beautiful ending.
Crazy because he was supposed to die in like the first season.
Yeah.
Yep. So that show was nothing but just great coincidences, which they've even said that themselves. So.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, it's part of the creative process, because if you're writing something and you plan something, and it's a big example of why you don't knee-jerk things, because if you let things flow and then experiment with these characters and where they go, that they have their life of their own, don't they? They take on a form of their own, and then in the end you go, right, I want to see more of this character. What can we do with him? Yeah. And I'm guessing that's your writing style too, and how you do it.
Yeah, definitely. I always I don't know. At the end of each script, I'm always kind of wondering where the characters are going to go. Not to say that I always want to make a sequel, but that's something that always kind of sticks with me, whether that sounds cliche or not.
Well, it's funny because you just mentioned sequels. I know Jim Carrey, we were talking about before, doesn't like sequels because he knows he's done it. Why do it again? And when he has done sequels, he's not liked it.
Yeah, I'm not a big Ace Ventura 2 fan.
Well, it's just the same again, isn't it? Like you said before.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That the first one's a little more original too. I'm trying to think. He was in Kick-Ass too. That one I didn't like as much as the first one. I haven't seen Sonic 2. I don't think I even finished the first Sonic. But yeah, he he hasn't been in a lot of sequels, but yeah, I can see why he would want to get away from those.
And I think that's exactly the point, because his energy isn't quite in it, and even though he's still putting a good effort in, you can tell he's not comfortable, he's not wanting to be there, and it's only subtle, but that's what happens in a Jim Carrey movie. Once you've seen him in that one character for that one movie, that's it. That should be the end.
Yeah,
yeah. It's like the Riddler from Batman. He couldn't come back now. Because he's done it.
Yeah. The new Riddler was pretty good too, though.
Is it in the Batman?
Yeah, have you seen
the latest one? No. God Almighty, I'm so rubbish. No, again, I should have been in that one, because I was cast as what was I now? I was a part of I was 2 years ago now. It was before COVID. It feels like a lifetime ago.
You were supposed to be in that though?
I spoke because it was filmed in Liverpool, so there was a lot of parts going that was going to be pretty decent, and COVID wiped it all clean and sort of.
Oh man, that would have been sweet.
I was looking forward to that. I was cast pretty early in August. Should have filmed it in January. Then COVID kicked off in December. So
man, see, I know a friend. He makes music. He lived in Riverdale, California, or Riverside, California. I can't remember which one it is.
Riverdale. It's not a TV show.
That might be it. I don't know if I've ever seen it.
With all the sexy people in it.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. Is that,
please.
So is it Riverside?
It's Riverdale in the show.
Okay, but California, is it Riverside or Riverdale?
You're from America.
Okay, whatever one it is. He lived there, and they were originally going to film Breaking Bad there. And he went to the audition for the role of Jesse, and he missed a callback from them asking him to go in for a second audition because he had to pay for his phone. So, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's brutal.
Oh, but having said that, history has showed us that the right decisions were made. So, maybe the universe stepped in and went, actually, leave him to get it for, because it was lightning in a bottle again, isn't it? Breaking Bad, it's everything was perfect.
It was another actor too that was on the X-Files that was also on Breaking Bad.
Who was that?
Aaron Paul, Jesse.
Oh, he was in X-Files, was he?
Yes, just one episode. So was Bryan Cranston. I don't know if you knew that.
I knew Bryan Cranston was.
Yep. Jesse was in one. It was like season 9, episode 4 or 5 or something.
Wow.
Called Lord of the Flies, I believe.
It's been years since, because I watched it in the during the 90s.
Yeah,
I was watching the X-Files, but I was very young, and I wasn't taking it in.
I just watched that for the first time last year. That's a good show. I liked it a lot. Have you seen the new ones?
I saw one or two, and one of them was it Gillian Anderson was having an orgasm or something? I can't remember.
They're definitely weird, but once you get into it, the newest season especially, I really liked. I felt like it was a lot of payoff for the what do you want to call it? The alien episodes, the mythological episodes is what they call it.
So do you think that it's living up to its premise, because it went on for a long time before it ended, and now it's back again? Do you think it's actually worth bringing it back?
Well, I don't think they're going to bring it back now, but when they did,
that's what I mean.
I think it was fun for them to try it. Yeah, I don't know. they definitely could have. There was story to do after that original last episode, so I think it was fun to see it come back, even though it wasn't as good.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, there's some shows that you just say to yourself, just leave it alone.
Yeah,
they've been thinking about Buffy for a long time.
Like if they were to bring Breaking Bad back, that wouldn't work.
But
if they were trying to bring Walt back from death,
No, they've got to resist that urge, because I know that time. It's like with the Matrix Resurrections recently. What was the fucking point?
I know. Yep. Yeah, the only reason that got made is because the director, it was only one of the two.
Lana, wasn't it? Lana.
Yeah, yep. And it used to be he, now she lost her parents, so she wanted to make that 4th movie because she wanted to bring the characters back to life.
It's a process of grief. So she was literally grieving the loss of her parents, and she said, "Well, I've got control over Neo and Trinity. Let's bring them back."
Yeah.
Which I don't mind them doing because they can do anything with the universe, but just have a good story.
Yeah.
To run off and it was a
I
mess.
didn't like how they changed Morpheus and Agent Smith.
Yeah, because again, you're changing them with the actors did fine. It's just they could have been anyone. They were
Yeah.
never the Morpheus character in particular was very stoic and very determined and had a purpose. The new one, nothing.
Yeah.
And Smith, the whole point of his character was that he was off-putting. His eyes, the way he pulled his face, he wasn't supposed to be sexy or, relatable or wisecracking. He was like, I hate this
A robot.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Robot.
he was
Yeah.
a robot who is got hate in its veins, who doesn't care. That is terrible, and they did fucking up.
What?
Okay.
Yeah. No, you're all right.
Is that your dad?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to wrap it up anyway soon because we've been on for. I know we were messing about for 20 minutes, but well, I think it's 20 minutes. I don't know the time.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was.
Tell me about the future with you, your ideal scenario, because I know you want to do lots of different things. You've got your fingers in all sorts of pies. You're helping people. You want to do this website too, maybe in the future. So, what do you want to get out of the creative industry? Do you want to be a world-renowned producer or a writer, or are you just winging it to see what sticks? What's your genre?
I want to do something in at least every genre.
Oh, you greedy get.
Yes. I think that would be fun, and then to have the films be just remembered well and talked about in the future, I think would be good enough. I probably want to stick it out for another 7 years, at least.
Did you say 70 years or 7?
7
Oh,
years.
7 years. Like, wow, we are confident.
Yeah, like 7 years and do some really cool stuff, and then probably walk away from it, and not entirely, but just not do it to the point I am now, where it's stressful and everything. Just like one film a year, if even. I would like to. I would like to eventually be Eminem level, where I can put an album out, or film out every 3-4 years, and people still come back and watch. I don't need to do it at the rate I am now.
Yeah.
Because when age hits you, you're you get a lot more tired.
Well, look at priorities change, don't they? I mean, you're in your early 20s, aren't you?
Yes, I'm 22. Yes.
So basically, you've not settled down yet. You've not had a proper family with kids and that, have you?
Yep. I don't even have my own place yet. Which I'm working on. But yeah, by the end of this year, I should. I could if I wanted to. I just want to be able to make sure that I have all that I need, so I don't screw myself over. Because I already did that once when I was 18. I screwed myself over, and I ended up back here. So
you live and you learn.
Yeah, it's all about learning. And even though if you feel like a failure sometimes,
Oh, don't be like that. You're never a failure when you've got talent. The talent always rises. I mean, look at me. I was in a marriage for 17 years, and now I'm single back here.
Really?
So,
really? And you're doing good.
Well, I'm trying my best, but this is the thing. I've been an actor all my life, and I found a passion for talking to people and just listening and seeing what and helping people. But I do like hearing people's stories and what you do, and it's more rewarding than acting for me. In a similar vein to what you said about everything other than acting.
Yeah.
It's just better, isn't it?
Yeah. See, I tried doing a podcast, which I don't mind doing at all, but I just haven't had the time to really keep up with it the way that I would like to. But yeah.
What's the podcast? Are you still running it, or is it done for you for a bit?
I haven't done one since like March, but I just recently started a new job, so I've been busier and trying to adapt to that schedule. But even then, I only have like two.
What's your hours? What's your hours at work?
It depends. It all depends. There's so I'm a mailman, so some days they'll be like, "Oh, we got to have you do this." Oh, some days you'll do this. Some days it's only 2 hours. Some days it's 4. Some days it's 6.
What? That doesn't seem consistent.
Yeah, yeah. That's just it's a smaller office, but I don't mind it at all. Like today, I think it was only like 2.5, 3 hours, which I don't mind, because I
It
was able
seems
to do
not
this.
worth getting out of bed.
Yeah, yep. Well, it's better than my last job though, where I got chased down for writing someone a parking ticket.
Oh, you were a parking ticket person, were you? Oh,
Yep,
geez.
for a little bit, yep.
How'd you
Yep.
cope with that?
My uncle worked there, so I when I was at 18 and I tried flying on my own and I crashed and burned, I got that job and it didn't pay very well, and that's part of why I crashed and burned. But yeah, I
So
tried
you've
sticking it out.
you've
Yeah.
learned from these.
Yep.
I say
Yeah.
mistakes, the stumbling blocks, and
Yep.
once you get to those stumbles, you pick yourself up.
Yep. Yeah, and I just wish that I would have taken more people's advice before.
Look, when you're younger, you don't. That's the point. I mean,
Yeah.
you think you know everything when you're younger, and then you realise actually I should have listened to my mum.
Yeah.
When she said, "Don't trust him. He's a liability." Oh, shut up, mum.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And now I'm here, and she's helping me to get a better life, And this is the thing: you should always listen to good advice, shouldn't you?
Yeah. The people that really care are the people that and that's what the people that really care are the people that'll give you the best advice. That's what I'm trying to do is build that community for the friends that I have, like Harry, who are talented. Give them reliable support, be there for them, and now I consider you a friend now after this.
Oh,
haven't finally met you.
Nice to meet you too.
I feel bad for messing up this too with my toe and everything.
Well, you were pretty selfish, but I can forego that. I can forego it, because it's been a good conversation, so I'll let you off now.
Yeah.
It's funny you should say that about friends, because I've got a quote up on the ceiling there. I don't know if you can see it. It's between the Matrix and that one there. It says, "When you want to help people, you tell them the truth. When you want to help yourself, you tell them what you want them to hear."
Yeah, that is a good quote.
That's
I didn't see that either.
Well, you can't see it from this angle, but it's. I've got quotes all over the wall because when I'm feeling low or depressed.
Oh man, that's cool. That's cool because
I wake up and see them.
I wanted to do that too when I get my own place, like Mac Miller quotes and stuff. I'm a big Mac Miller fan too. Yeah, that's cool.
It just helps because sometimes you can be your own worst enemy and sort of resign yourself to failure a little bit, even though you're not a failure. It's just, like you say, a stumbling block. But when you see those quotes, you go, actually, things could be fucking worse,
Yeah, that is very true. Yeah.
And I'm really, really pleased that I managed to come and talk to you today because I've been watching you from afar. I've been hearing what Harry's got to say about you, and I just wish I had half the talent you have, especially in the
thank you
editing department and stuff like that.
Well, I've heard you're a good editor too, though.
Well, he says I'm a good editor, but I'm winging it.
See, that's all that is, though. Too. I didn't have anyone teach me how to edit. It's all just learning and learning and learning.
Oh God, you always have to be on. You always have to be doing it. But the thing is, there's always something to learn with editing. There's always a new style to come out with.
How did you start editing?
Well, it started years ago in the early 2000s, really, and I started sort of tweaking things then. But it's only been since the technology's gotten easier that I've managed to sort of continue on with it. It started. I mean, more recently, I got the confidence. It's all about confidence with editing. You need to really trust that you're actually doing something right.
What did you start editing? Like what projects?
Back then I was in drama, so I was in theatre drama. So we'd film our own stuff, and it's all VHS.
You'd edit like the intermissions out and whatnot.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then it went on to CDs and DVDs, and then it went on to. Then I stopped because I slipped and fell and got me and Mrs. pregnant. It all stopped.
Yeah.
But by the way, don't do that. So it went on. It stopped then, but then in the last I got back into this in 2017. So since then, it's all so much easier. Things are so much easier, but harder at the same time.
And see, that's the thing is when your version of editing compared to mine and what we grew up with is completely different.
I know. You probably don't remember 9/11, do you? Something like that.
No, I don't. No, I was probably a baby in his high chair throwing a fit about banana baby food. Then
you make me sick.
And so like when I started editing, it was tribute videos, like Breaking Bad tributes and whatnot, Dexter tributes like they have on YouTube. I have one of those YouTube channels hidden away too. I can send you a link to that so you can watch some of those.
Is that your personal name or is it?
No, it was an old one. I don't even remember the name of it, honestly. It was connected to, ironically enough, Badger TV Zero. It was one of the first ones I did, named after the Breaking Bad character, Badger.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
yep,
Sorry,
yep. That's what I
stupid.
mean. Breaking Bad really made me want to do it again.
I knew
There
I
was a
liked you. I knew I liked the look of you, and now I know why. Because you
yeah,
like everything
and
I
Harry
do.
Scott told me that you like Ricky Gervais too. I
I
like
put one
Ricky
out. I
Gervais.
put one out last night, and it's nearly 800 views. Last I checked,
Oh, really?
and it's done better than all my other videos combined in the first 24 hours. And I'm like, lucky me, I've just got to pay promotion, so he's going to pay me again next month. But this is the thing. It's I love dry comedy. I love British comedy. I love ironic statements. I love throwing people off their guard, really. So I
Yeah.
mean, even in this interview, I've been throwing stuff at you, and you're just bouncing off you like Superman, like boom, boom. You're just like, haha.
See, I'm kind of like that awkward comedy too.
I love it. What's your favorite?
If you've ever seen Silicon Valley, that Richard guy, I'm him. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but
I
I'm
have.
very
I have
awkward
in
like
passing.
that. That's a good show. Yeah, Ricky Gervais's what was his Oscars speech? That was funny.
It was the Golden Globes. He's done that since 2010, and he wasn't outrageous back then. But he was just having a laugh. Now it's offensive.
Yeah,
it's very silly.
It's great having him come at all those celebrities the way he did. That was
exactly
really, really cool.
And the thing about Ricky Gervais, right? And again, it harks back to your craft because he writes, directs, produces all his own stuff, and even acts in it too sometimes. So there's a connection there between how you do things and how he does things, and that's probably why you like him, because he does things. And it's like when I think he was on Jimmy Fallon once, and he was basically poo-pooing Jimmy Fallon because Jimmy Fallon doesn't write his own jokes. He just gets them presented to him. He's just a presenter. Whereas Ricky wipes the floor with him on his own show because he just knows how to improvise and write and shock value. And
yeah, he's one of the best comedians there is today, I would say.
Is there anyone else that you look up to?
Eminem, Conan. I like Ricky. Gambino, Childish Gambino. I like him a lot. Trying to think.
Do you like? I don't know how naughty you like your jokes, but there's someone called what's his name? Frankie Boyle.
No, I have not. Harry told me you like him too. I haven't heard much of him at all. You'll have to send me some links to his stuff.
Well, if you want to react, if you ever want to do a reaction show, because you're a connoisseur to reactions now, you can anytime you want to come on, I'll show you a clip. And last time I showed Harry a clip, he was like, over his head. And then what he did understand, he was like, I don't know if you're allowed to say that, are you, Steve? I was like, it's naughty to you. I like naughty. I like bare knuckles.
Yeah.
It's like with your Breaking Bad. It's not safe.
Yeah.
Is it? It's everything as a writer you probably like to see him here, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I'll try out that Frankie Doyle, or is it Boyle?
No, Frankie Boyle. Frankie Boyle. But I don't want you to look at him now. If you're going to do a reaction, you might as well come and do it with me.
So we're going to do a reaction someday?
If you want to.
Yeah,
I know you're busy. I know you're busy.
Yeah, I'm down for it too.
There's not many people who want to come on and do a Frankie Boyle reaction. They don't want offence. That's the thing.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Good.
Yeah.
Marjorie, pencil that in. There's no one there. So if you want to say a couple of, I'll leave the floor to you for now because I'm going to wrap it up. But I just want to say thank you for coming on and spending time. You've got the whole freaking day left. It's nearly bedtime for me.
Yeah.
But just if you want to say a couple of words to people, say thank you, or I'll leave the floor up to you. Really, what do you want to say?
Yeah. I hope anyone watching this checks out my stuff.
Go.
Thank you for doing it. And then it was nice to Steven. It was nice meeting you. I'm sorry that the interview started off kind of shaky, in the car and whatnot.
You should be naked in the car, should you?
Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. Too many mimosas.
Yeah, probably. And your pussy too. Don't forget your pussy getting in the bloody way. I
don't know. I think that's all I have to say.
What
do you think?
I think that's fine.
Okay.
To be honest, it's more about if you want to say thank you to people, or if you feel that if to me, the thanks is all more to you for coming on and spending time with me, because it's not often you get someone as creative as you on the channel,
Oh,
and
I appreciate that, man.
just to tell that, because I've been interviewing a lot of politicians recently,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and yeah, it's I love it because they've all got different stories to tell, but there's something
Yeah.
about a creative person that sort of gets me excited. You know, in a minute I'm going to do some star jumps over there when I'm finished this, because I'm just pumped up. I want to create something now because of
Yeah. Yeah.
it's you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to support you in any way, if anyone wants to help you build your website, or
Yes.
if anyone wants
Definitely.
to help you share your stuff, where's the best place to do it?
You would have to go to the Live Free YouTube, which links to the Facebook and the Twitter. The Facebook will link you to the merchandising store. There's a lot of links here. And
Merchandise?
yes, yes, yeah. There's Create More shirts, which Create More is the website for people that you know, like up and comers posting to reach professionals. Any Create More shirt goes towards the website, but right now the wiki is up, which is also linked on the Facebook and Instagram, all that, you know. After, man, every YouTube video we have links to everything. So after this, I'm gonna have to make sure all those links are in place.
Yeah, you have to everything. Send me a template. It'll probably be easier.
Yeah.
Do you ship anything to the UK?
What's that?
Do you ship stuff to the UK?
I'm sure. I'm sure it does. I'll have to double check. It's like one of those third-party sites where you make the shirt and then they'll sell it for you. But I'm kind of trying to decide if we're going to stick with this one or do a different one. So
okay, let me know on that.
I'll let you know and I'll look. Do you want me to send you like what's on our YouTube videos to put in the description?
Yeah. A template is probably the best bet, isn't it? Because I don't want to get it wrong. I want people to know where you are.
Definitely, I can do that.
And if you're ever in the UK, I don't know if you've got any plans to come to the UK at all or anything.
I don't right now, but I would definitely be down for it in the future.
Well, I know myself and Harry would love to host you and show you around. So if you're ever in the Liverpool area, you're more than welcome to come hit us up. We'll take you for a quick pint.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me on, man.
And give the good punters the wave. Go on, say goodbye.
There's
whoa.
Wait.
Hey! I wondered where you'd gone, troublemaker. Oh, it reminds me of my cat. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, passed out.
Anyway, give the punters a wave.
Right.
Goodbye.
There we go.
See you next time. Goodbye.
See ya.